Hi my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. This week's video has been the most highly requested video ever. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really had like highly requested videos. I'm not like a big YouTuber and you know, I'm not a huge social influencer as of yet. But if there's anything that has been requested over and over and over again, it is this video. So as you can probably tell by the title, this is A-level revision tips and tricks. They could probably apply to GCSEs as well. Probably 90% of them apply for GCSE, if not 100%. So, you know, GCSE too, but the whole concept of this video is A-level revision tips and tricks because obviously I'm an A-level student. So if you didn't know, I am currently doing my A-levels. I do 2 A-levels and 1 BTEC. I do music performance, which is the BTEC, and then I do A-level psychology and I do A-level English language. And I'm in my final year of college. My exams are literally in like 3 weeks on Monday. Yeah, my exams are on 3 weeks on Monday, which is actually terrifying. So yeah, we are gonna jump straight into the tips and yeah, let's go into it. Okay, so tip number 1, I think that this is the most important tip of you like doing your A-levels, to always write notes or flashcards after each lesson or topic that you've done. I'll use psychology as an example because that's probably the best one. So for psychology, I didn't do this till halfway through this year, which is far too late, and only now have I realised that like I should have done it beforehand. So when you're in class, lesson, whatever you call it, and you learn a topic, just literally straight after, if you have a free, I know in GCSEs you don't have free, so when you get home or at lunch, or if you're in college and you have a free straight after your lesson, or you have lunch or whatever, just buy yourself a pack of flashcards and you literally just want to transfer all the notes that you've just made onto that flashcard, but like extremely condensed, so that you've just got them condensed for when you need them. It takes so much hassle off revision. I cannot tell you. When you're just about to do an exam, obviously you have to do other bits of revision, but if you haven't done enough, these flashcards will save your life because they're just there. You can just pick them up and you can go over the most important notes, and it's just quick. And if you do all your revision, it's great because I'm going to do all my revision now up until my exam, and I will have them flashcards so that the night before the exam, when you don't want to do too much revision because it kind of stresses you out, you can just flick through flashcards of your topics. The next morning when you're on the bus on the way to the exam, you can just flick through the flashcards and read the topics, and it's just dead quick and simple. And if you keep on top of it, like honest to God, they will save your life. I cannot explain how much flashcards will save your life. If anybody does psychology, I just write all of their AO1 on one side of the flashcard in the most condensed form I can put it in. And then on the back, I write the evaluation of all of them points. I want to do the same for every flashcard for like one topic. Okay, so tip number 2 is plan. Oh my Lord, this tip is the most important one of all. I've done many plans throughout the year to find which works best for me, and I've recently just done my latest one, which is working amazing for me. You basically just plan right the way through all your revision. Plan your revision. Like, that is all I can say. Just plan it, and don't just write like Monday psychology revision because that is not specific enough. Be like Monday. And don't even just put memory revision, literally put what part of memory you are going to revise, what part of social influence you are going to revise, what part of English language, maths, physics, whatever you do, what part of that topic you're going to revise in like the most condensed form that you can put it in. Write down what you're going to do as specifically as you can. If you plan like this, honest to God, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I planned my revision and it took me roughly If I add up all the time altogether, it probably took me about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but it was worth it. And it is so detailed, it literally, I cannot procrastinate whatsoever. It prevents me from procrastinating at all because the revision is so specific and detailed. You know exactly what you've done, and you can ensure that you've done everything before your exam. Like, you can make sure that every single topic in every single subject has been covered. I got a little notebook from college. This notebook is like my life in a notebook. Yeah, I started planning my revision in this little book, and I've really loved planning in it. So I write everything that I do, and I highlight like subject specific colours, and then I get to, obviously because it's in a book, I just get to cross it out very neatly with a red pen every time I've completed that section of revision. And for me, I am a little bit of a geek, and it's really satisfying to watch all the revision get crossed out, and it's like really relieving to see it all amount down to 0. It's one of them things, it's a must do. Like, you cannot get anywhere without planning, because you never know where you're up to, what you've done, what you haven't done, what you know, what you don't. You just, it's just a necessity if you want to get anywhere in terms of revision. Plan for your life. Tip number 3 is healthy body, healthy mind. If you're eating well and you're feeding your body the right nutrients that it needs and that it wants, and that is gonna keep you feeling on top of the world all day, and if you are training in any way, shape or form, I don't necessarily just mean training with weights in the gym like I do, literally in any way, shape or form, and keeping your physical health intact, I am a full believer that if you have both of these factors in your life, then your mental health and your ability to be able to revise and take in information is like so much stronger. When I train, I obviously have a lot more motivation altogether, if that makes any sense. And you kind of get a little bit like, oh, I'm motivated to train, I want to look good, I want to feel good, and now I want to do my work well, and it motivates you more to want to revise, and you do more productive revision because you're being more productive. If you are eating the right foods at the right amount of foods, do not undereat. Do not let your A-levels get in the way of eating, because you need to eat to be able to function throughout the day. If you're eating correct, you will have energy all day, which is great, because even though when you're sitting and writing, obviously you're not moving around and taking energy, but it's so exhausting to sit in a spot for like 6 hours and write. Go to the gym, go on a run. It's not only good for your motivation and things, it's good as a relaxation thing. So when you've done loads of revision, you want to get away from it, go for a run or train, because if you sit and watch the telly instead of not doing revision, you'll feel guilty. I'm not saying don't sit down and have a movie night, because completely sit down and have a movie night like you are doing your GCSEs or your A-levels. You deserve to watch a movie every night after your long days of revision. But what I am saying is, if it's halfway through the day and you're gonna stop doing revision for a bit and you're just gonna sit on the couch and eat and watch a series, go for a run. It'll keep you motivated, and you just won't feel no guilt for it, and it's such a good stress reliever to train, like in my opinion anyway. Tip number 4 for your A-levels is timings. When you are revising, your timings of your revision are very important. Completely understand that you cannot always plan your time out perfectly. Like, give yourself split time periods, and like, even if you don't finish it, like, it's fine, just put it to the side and go back to it later or something. Apparently it is scientifically proven that you can only work for 45 minutes at a time with like taking information in.
That was disgusting.
So you're supposed to, basically, you should revise for 45 minutes, and then for the 15 minutes after that, just go over what you've revised. Oh my god! Number 5 is get into a routine. As a young teenager, I could sleep in for hours. If you didn't wake me up, I would not get up. Like, no joke, I was never getting up. As I've got older, it's kind of rubbed off me a little bit, and at the moment I am trying to make a conscious effort to not sleep in at all. I'm trying to make a conscious effort to get up between like 7 and 9 on the weekends like 8 and 10, do you know what I mean? But if you get into a routine of getting up earlier, your body does start to get up earlier, and if you revise from earlier, you've got the whole day to revise, and it's just the best feeling ever. Like you're not rushing or anything. So if you get into a routine to getting up at a specific time and going to bed at a specific time, you can plan a specific time in that day, every day, that you are going to revise. Like you can kind of say, this is my study period and all the rest of the time is my time. Tip number 6 is buy your meals earlier, or bring your meals in to college and have them prepared. And if you're at home, prepare your meals in the morning before you start any revision. If you prepare your meals before your revision, so that like they're just in the fridge, you can just go to the fridge and grab them, or they're just out and you can just grab them, you are avoiding procrastinating so much. You're not going to have anything to procrastinate over if your food's there ready for you. Tip number 7 is find a regular study space. Like if you find your space, it's like when you get there, your brain like knows like, this is, I'm gonna just focus and study now. It's really odd. So yeah, like find yourself an area and like devote this area to your revision. Tip number 8 is to download apps to motivate yourself. So for example, I've spoken about how I've got the Forest app. The Forest app basically has like a leaderboard, and you can add your friends on this leaderboard, and it tells you how many hours of revision you've done, how many hours of revision they've done. And seeing your friends above you in this Forest app, I'm quite competitive, so I don't know about you, but so like my Forest app is taking up like 6 hours in a day, and I'm getting them 6 hours of revision done because I'm motivated because of my Forest app. Tip number 9 is set goals and set rewards. So if you're gonna set a goal to do, say, 6 hours of revision, I don't know why 6 is the lucky number today, it just is. So there's your goal set, and then you can say, if I do my 6 hours revision, I can watch a movie with my boyfriend or my mate or my mum, or I can have a sleepover with my mate. And if I don't do the 6 hours, then I can't. So revision tip number 10 is rest. Oh my god, like, I know I sound one of them like really like chill people who's like, oh my god, you must rest. No, you must rest. I get tired when I've had 8 hours sleep. Like sleep to me is so important. If I do not get enough sleep in the night, which I usually don't anyway, but like if I get an insufficient amount of sleep to the point where like it's like 3 hours, the next day I cannot take in an ounce of information. Even if I'm awake and I'm sitting and I'm listening, none of it goes in. By 10 o'clock you want to be rested and ready to go to sleep, because obviously you need to wind down like an hour or 2 before you're gonna go to sleep. Oh, yeah. And obviously getting enough sleep and resting enough is gonna keep you on the ball. Like with, if you're doing an exam, if you've lacked in sleep, me personally anyway, my brain physically does not work, it just goes blank. So get enough sleep for the sake of your exam, for the sake of your lessons and taking information in, for the sake of revising and being able to stay awake. Rest. There she is. Anyway, I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was really highly requested. I hope I didn't bore you like endlessly, and I hope that there was some useful information in there. Every single one of these tips is something that I do and I find really effective towards revision. Obviously, I don't do all these tips 24/7. I wish I did, but I don't. And I can tell when I don't do them and when I do them, and obviously I can see the difference. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. And if you want to request some more videos, please leave a comment down below of any type of video that you want to see. I'll see you next week on Sunday at 7 p.m. Bye.